Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, I traded for my Giannis Stopper in our competitive NBA 2K23 Myleague. So, in today's video is against my boy Dre. As you can see, he's got Giannis at the 4, Towns at the 5. We're going to go over the teams real quick. So on his squad in this video, again, it's Giannis at the 4. Mind you, in this league, we have a rule that I allowed people to do where we're going to change one gold badge to Hall of Fame. In today's video, you can see with Giannis, he has it upped from Posterizer, gold to Hall of Fame. Regardless of that though, Giannis is an absolute animal, bro. As you can see, like, he's got gold acrobat, gold area wizard, gold fast twitch. You can use him as a pick and roller, a slasher, anything you want. You can actually even shoot for that matter too, with, yes, only 0 shooting badges, but as you can see, he's got a 71 3-point rating as well. 91 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk. What makes him even more unbelievable is his defensive aspect, where he has 92 interior, 92 perimeter, with 80 block, 91 defensive rebound, 95 lateral quickness, 90 speed, 94 strength, and 85 vertical with 98 stamina as well. An absolute freak show out here on offense and defense. And as you can see, contributing to the defensive aspect to gold anchor, gold clamps, gold chase down, all types of ridiculous stuff. But again, we're here mostly to talk about his offense, because what I traded for recently is our Giannis Stopper. Now, this right here is who I was targeting, and I gave away Anthony Simons for him. I traded him Joey. Joey needed another ball handler. Simons was contributing, as you guys maybe saw in the last video, with really good dunk meter ability, can still shoot, pretty viable ball handler. What Bam brings to the table, Bam Adebayo, is gold anchor, gold post move lockdown, so it really counters, like, let's say post scoring type bigs as well as slashers and stuff like that too. I'm also thinking just any super tall point forward style player, like let's say our Luka and Tatum and maybe even John Morant of the world, where it's more slasher oriented or maybe just not as speed demon sort of deal. Essentially, if they don't kill me from 3, I'm trying to put Bam Adebayo on them. So as you can see, he's got the silver brick wall, silver box out beast, silver interceptor as well. He can still contribute in the rebounding aspect, and mainly is the fact that he has that gold anchor. Now, he didn't have any perimeter defensive badges, as you guys probably saw, but with that comes also 93 interior with 83 perimeter defense. That is very good perimeter defense for a 6'9" interior defender like this. His steal rating, not very good, and also his block rating, not as great as you would think it is with that gold anchor. But also back to our perimeter defensive conversation, he has 73 lateral quickness with 74 speed, 85 strength, and 83 vertical. I think it's actually a very doable thing, and I got him for pretty cheap considering all it took was Anthony Simons, who is like an 83 overall. And again, you could compare and contrast. Honestly, there's a big need in this league, and it's for 3-and-D wings. And it's not to say that Bam is that, but our second biggest need in this league, as far as just the whole widespread of the league itself, is secondary ball handlers or play initiators. And Anthony Simons was exactly that for Joey, and Joey had Porzingis and like KD and stuff like that too, so he didn't really need Bam. But I will say Bam can actually still hit threes, 69 3-pointer, and like a doable jump shot. It's not that bad. Anyway, straight into the gameplay, I do want to let you guys know one thing though too. We also traded for another big man. This is Myles Turner. He's going to be my starting center. He's going to be getting a lot of minutes. He's essentially a stretch big man, where he's going to be able to stretch the floor, be a really good shooter as far as that like 5 spot, and then also be our big man that guards the other team centers. Now, what I'm thinking I can do with this lineup is I can have Turner on someone like Towns, and then Bam on someone like Giannis. And if they go pick and pop, like kind of spam like this with the Towns, I can just switch everything. And boom, these two can go ahead and switch that stuff, where we have Bam maybe more so on Towns, we got Turner on Giannis, and we can just switch that stuff because they're both very capable interior defenders. Myles Turner has silver anchor as well, and it's going to be very doable. I truly am a big believer in this lineup. So again, Bam is really just only going to be in here to match Giannis's minutes, because what Bam is going to provide for my team is a little bit of like bad spacing and not super reliable 3-point shooting. You can see though, first play of the game offensively, we turn around and hit that spin jumper with Harden. Back on the defense again. Once again, we're going to be just playing that little catch hedge slash like maybe ready to play some sides off it with Bam and Turner. But either way, you can see he ends up going like with a really weird situation where Towns like kind of steps out of bounds. I try and switch on to Turner and kind of lose track of him, so that right there was all on me, just giving that up straight up. But our second talking point of this game is going to be James Harden. So I do want to let you guys know, like obviously the whole title of this video was trading for Bam and the fact that he is our Giannis Stopper, right, quote unquote. But I'm telling you, this James Harden stuff is taking off, man. We're getting really in our bag with this stuff, and I'm actually super looking forward to it. So in case you guys didn't see, the record for me was 3-2, and the record for Dre right here was 3-1. So I have lost 2 games since our first game that I posted against Nut. I ended up losing to Tonic and Dope. I'll go ahead and recap recap those games toward the end of this video, but as you can see, hitting the little James Harden hop jumper into the escape. We get Towns jumping, and then we're able to just dump it off to Turner, and he gets it to go. Once again, going under screens right there on Giannis, because obviously we want to protect the rim a little bit more and not let him get past on those screens. And as you can see, we're able to just kind of wall it off, and the gold anchor with 90+ interior defense, it really does go hard, man. Right here you can see we're kind of saucing up with Harden again, all looking to a fade in the middle, but instead hit a little quick stop and pull that 3. And as you can see, we're already out to a 9-4 lead. And again, Bam on ball against Giannis is going to force Dre to maybe go more into his pick and roll sets where he forces the ball into other people's hands, because Bam is just going to be such a problem defensively that really does give me an easy time on D in comparison to, let's say I had Pokuševski starting at the 5 originally. And actually, believe it or not, Poku is my starting 4 ideally. It's just I'm going to be slotting Bam in for these types of teams where we want our Giannis stopper on the floor, or our Ja stopper, our Luka stopper, Tatum stopper, whatever the case may be, the tall superstar point forwards that we have to limit. You can see like stuff like this is not ideal where we have James Harden into the pick and rolls. We don't want that. And as you can see, we get Harden stuck on him, so I try and send some help over. I get ready to switch on to OG, and then I try and switch on with Poku, but it was a little bit late, so unfortunate that we just don't get that to go. Now, the lineup that's currently in right here, you can see we have Poku actually at the 3. We have a 7-footer at the small forward. We have Bam at 6'9" at the power forward, and then we got Myles Turner as well at kind of 7-footer at the center. So it's actually pretty crazy, bro, that we're going with this size lineup, but it's what we had to do against Dre right here. As you can see, I mean, his lineup is pretty gigantic. You got Towns at the 5, you got Giannis at the 4, you got Aaron Gordon at the 3, so you definitely have to bring the big bodies out here. But as you can see, once again, he's running that pick and pop to switch Harden on. I probably should have changed some defensive adjustments there as far as like not getting Harden stuck on Giannis in the ISO off the screens, but it is what it is. Either way though, Harden has 11 points, as you can see in that top right there, and we are definitely saucing up right here. I mean, we got the shot take, we're ready to go, man. But as you can see, the mismatch a little bit, so we're going to Bam. We got Myles Turner kind of just in like really smooth operation offense where it's just kind of people out of the way, so we go ahead and take it. Back on the other end on defense, you can see you got Cade Cunningham leading the point. This is also another thing about Dre's team too. It's super deep as far as the play initiators and just the like offensive threats go, and the reason for that really is the fact that if you can draft Giannis, like, you know how much that does for your team, man. Like, you can do so much more when you have a defensive superstar that can still carry you on offense as well. I mean, that goes a long way. But Harden, as you can see, breaking ankles in the corner, he gets him falling, and I don't even get ready to shoot it, so I just pass it right back to him and just shoot it in his face, and boom, we get the yellow to go. 14 points for Harden in the first quarter, and it's not even over yet, man. We got that take still going, hitting those hop jumpers, hitting that escape. I do miss pretty bad right there, though. Obviously, you know, it's not going to be something where I get the timing down every single time in this myleague stuff. It's 5 to maybe even 8 or 10 different people's jump shots you're going to be memorizing, and obviously like the fades, the hop jumpers, and stuff like that with everybody too. And also, you know, it's just tough to hit every shot, so it is what it is. But anyway, going to the pick and roll with Bam, I get a little bit of a clamp breaker. I was not expecting to get open on that, and unfortunately, instead of holding my X button to dunk it, I actually hit RBX and just icon pass to Harden. And right there you can see I get baited into the jump shot too, so unfortunately we're chucking a few shots with Harden, but it is what it is. Myles Turner, good jump contest in the corner right there. As you can see, we get the red, and now we're gonna spell Harden a little bit, get his stamina back up. As you can see, he was around like the low 80s range, or 73 actually for that matter. So we're just gonna be getting him out back to Zach LaVine. Now, fresh Zach LaVine for that matter too, by the way. He has hardly played this game, if not at all, and we're gonna be able to just get him in here and go play initiator mode with it. Now, I will say Zach's dribble style is very bad, as you can see. I mean, that's some horrible stuff right there, but he does make some pretty crazy layups sometimes. While I missed that one, you will see some crazy stuff in this game too. I mean, he just has good fearless, good driving lay in general. You can see we got kind of just rack attacked right there out the corner. Unfortunate. And now we have 9.4 left. We're going to be just hitting a little LT hezzy right here with Harden. I try and go for the dunk meter, but I don't get it to go. And as you can see, there's the stuff I'm talking about. Unbelievable. Why does that type of stuff even go in my league, bro? It's crazy, because I ended up tweaking the sliders a little bit as far as three-point shooting and mid-range goes, because I wanted people to feel rewarded for jump shots, right? But I didn't touch anything to do with the interior contests or anything like that. If anything, I actually turned down shooting fouls because I wanted to make it so people go to the hoop less expecting stuff like that to work like they do in rec. But 100% smothered and one is just some ridiculous stuff, man. That's actually crazy. Now right here you can see with Zach LaVine, he doesn't exactly have, like I just said, a very good dribble style. So moves like that where I just kind of burst to the right are really slow. So this right here, you're gonna see, I actually hit like a right trigger kind of behind the back where you would just essentially move your left stick to the offhand, and that right there bypasses any dribble style issues that you will ever have. So it's fortunate that that's even like a thing that we can resort to. But yeah, that's really like our best Zach LaVine dribble move because it can really bypass his garbage dribble style. Right here you can see we're icing off that middle with OG, making sure that he has to run baseline straight into his other like center in the paint, but as you can see, he gets that to go. I believe that's Jalen Duren. He is like a baby Giannis out here, bro. When Dre brings him off the bench, Duren is just an absolute dunk god, man. He's got the Dwight packages as well. It's actually pretty crazy. Right here, though, you can see LaVine. We're going in there with the Euro. I mentioned this in the last video. LaVine and Harden both have some of the best layup packages in the game as far as transitioning into dunks. So LaVine with that Euro dunk, Harden with also his own Euro dunk, and maybe even like spins and hops as well. But the Euros are mainly what we're looking at. Off the bench, we also have Tari Eason coming in at the 3. We got Poku at the 4, and then obviously Miles Turner still at the 5. Right here, we're setting up a pick and pop with Poku. I get a little bit of behind the back right there, and shout out to Zach LaVine for that behind the back too. It's actually one of the few good dribble packages in his bag as well. And we just get a nice little rim attack right there, and boom, here we are. It's 27-14. I mean, we are looking real smooth out here. Shout out to Poku too. He's low-key got pretty good perimeter defense. He can hang out there, and I think it's actually like a really, really good versatility option at the 4 now. When he was playing the 5, that was the tough like thing that we had, right? Because I had people like OG at the 4. Now he's playing the 2 for me in like realistic settings, right? And then we had Thibault coming in here at the 2, who I now have shipped off for Miles Turner. So that's the fortunate thing. But once again, if Giannis wasn't in the game, we weren't going to put in Bam. And I need to maybe get better with this stuff because potentially if Giannis comes in right here, I just like have to predict it, right? And thankfully, I do predict it, as you can see Giannis coming out on the floor right here. But I wish I knew a little bit better how to like understand who is getting brought out on like the opposite team or anything like that. But anyway, as you can see, Harden, I got the handles for days on Hall of Fame with him. It's low-key putting in some good work, but it is still kind of tough to dribble regardless of the handles for days level. We're not really getting much going right here on offense, so resorting to the Poku hop jumper. This man is an absolute beast, bro. I am telling you guys, that's some crazy stuff for him to be able to do, especially at the 5, like, or the 4, whatever position I have him at, right? Like, right now we have him on Towns because that's the more realistic option. I'm not going to put him on, like, I'm not going to put him on Giannis or anything like that, but either way, you can see, once again, shrinking the floor, playing that help defense, Tari Eason with the board, pushing it down to Harden. We're hitting that little hop jumper backwards. We got a little escape to the ball hand, and now we're going to be trying to work again, hitting escape again to try and move away from that CPU defense. And this is exactly what I want to show you guys too. Now, this is not full CPU defense because as you can see, I do this because it beats the CPUs. This escape is always going to beat these AIs, but as you can see, good players in this league are going to be switching on and getting that hand up, just clicking their A button and switching and getting that hand up instantly. But either way, the shooting in this a little bit easier. It's at 55 out of 50 on the slider instead of the default 50 that it was set to. So we made it a little bit easier, made shot contesting a little bit harder because I want people to do stuff like that. I want people to do the more skill-based shooting and stuff like that too. As you can see, I mean, it's on the other end too. Towns, it's a 15%. It's not like we have this at 100 or anything like that though. I mean, it's not like shooting is just automatic. It's just that if you know your shot with these people pretty well, you can still green. You can definitely still green yellows. Like, it's doable. But anyway, coming to the closing end of this quarter right here, we're getting a little bit tired with Harden. It's already a little bit tough to dribble in this game, and then obviously handles for days isn't really fixing all that. As you can see, my stamina not looking great. So we call for the corner pick and roll from Bam right here. I'm setting myself up to the corner. We go for that screen, and I'm able to just kind of catch Dre not playing any switch defense between the 1 and the 5, right? Even though, if you really think about it, it's low-key Giannis on Towns. So this really could be an easy switch everything. It's just settings-wise, if you don't have your stuff set up for it properly, then you will get caught with stuff like this sometimes. So we get Harden fading to the corner right here, tired and everything, but I'm ready for it. Boom. We bang that fade to the corner with the green, up 36-19. And Harden's having a crazy game. Bam's doing really good at protecting this paint on Giannis. However, as you can see, right there, we do get caught with 1. Now, I just want to replay this one because I want to explain it a little bit. So I try and go under this screen right here to the right? But then, unfortunately, I kind of just think like, oh, well, Poku's just going to pick up on the right anyway, so I might as well protect the middle on Giannis. And I really did think at this point, like, why wouldn't he just switch that? It's low-key, like, you know, the big man and big man, but once again, it's the exact same thing. And I don't know if maybe this is just a matchup thing where maybe Giannis is at the 1 instead of the 4 this time, but I don't know. I definitely thought my bigs were going to switch everything between the two of them. So Poku, whether he was just way too unathletic or way like not prepared to be in that position, either way, as you can see, the Giannis Stopper Bam is coming out here. That's the first points we've allowed to Giannis in the entire game. 2, through the half. And I gotta say, I have played with Dre in the rec before. He's still a beast with his dunk meter. He's a good slasher. He's just a good 2K player in general. So to be holding him to this amount of points is really, really elite right now. And as you can see, Harden is going crazy, bro. Hitting those escapes, beating the defense, whether it's off ball or on ball. And we got crazy, like 23 points of them in the half, outscoring Dre's whole team. Towns going to the hoop right there, though. Unfortunately, we foul. So Towns at the line. He's going to knock down the first free throw, miss the second one. We're out in transition a little bit. Like, I'm going to try to, but unfortunately, we don't get much out of it. And now, for Harden, you can't do the hop jumpers with your right stick down. It just doesn't work like that. You're never going to get, like, a good animation out of them. So you have to be a little bit more of the standing hop jumper style. Like, for instance, off those escapes in style like that. But anyway, we're out of adrenaline with Harden, so we got to go to Levine, try and bail us out a little bit right here. We get the dunk meter to pop off, and fortunately, we get a slightly early instead of an early right there, so we get it to go. 41-22, we are absolutely moving, but now you're going to see Dre close out this quarter really, really good. So once again, I'm trying to fight through it with Bam. He just ends up getting to the hoop with Zach LaVine on him down in the paint because I couldn't get through the screen clean enough on Bam. Probably should have forced Giannis to shoot even more than I just did right there. I still tried to go under, but unfortunately still got caught on it. And then again, LaVine, little body in general down there. He's not going to be able to get it to go. So once again, we're going to rescreen this with Levine right here. You can see I'm going to get to the hoop really easy. Harden has some very simple and very basic dunk animations, very thankfully, I must say. Right here, I'm trying to get through the crowd and stuff with Bam, because once again, it's just super clouded up with like a ton of people in that area. But he gets it to go. Obviously, like Bam, while he is going to play some good defense, it's not going to purely stop everything. Once again, though, Harden with some really good dunk packages. As you can see, he actually pops off the quick drops. We get a steal off that as well. He gets doubled, though, so I'm going to have to move the ball elsewhere. We got OG. I try and swing it back to Harden, but Giannis is in the lane. We're able to still get it back, very fortunately. And then also, I dodge a bump steal as well. And then Harden able to once again get it to go through the hoop. We have 29 points before half with Harden. This is some crazy stuff. And also, once again, real quick reminder for you guys, this whole like season average stuff does not mean anything. We have to unfortunately force games sometimes when like the games don't count the actual result. So it definitely is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So Harden is averaging well over 17 points per game to this point right here. But anyway, Tari Eason on Towns. It's not exactly the matchup we would like, but I don't really have too many big bodies out here. It's just Bam playing the 5 and Tari at the 4. So we're going to a little bit undersized. And then Bam, once again, is going to try and get a jump right here, but I'm just behind him. He dead zoned me, grabbed me, whatever you want to call it. So he's able to get that to go on the putback with Towns. So on this one right here, we're going to be able to just kind of get past Giannis, but you can see, like, I'm not able to actually get it to go. His chase down and speed ability is just so good. And then obviously his interior defense, even still, like, it was just hands up defense after him having jumped. And with me not having fast twitch or anything like that on Harden, and then obviously just like the struggles you're going to deal with that, he's able to get the good interior defense on it. And then obviously, as you can see, he's able to just get the bully with Giannis, the Hall of Fame bully right there. I try and get it to go with Levine into the paint just at the end of the buzzer. We don't get it to go. So we end the half 47-31. Harden's got 29 at the half. I've already said it 3 times now, but as you can see, we're holding Giannis to 9 still. And a lot of those were toward the end of the quarter as well. So we're able to get some good minutes from Bam throughout this whole first half. And I'm pretty satisfied with it at the end of the day. So Bam is probably playing a little bit more than I intend to with him. As you can see, once again, Giannis with that recovery, just speed and perimeter defense and challenger ability and stuff like that. Just being 7 foot with like a 8-foot wingspan. I mean, it's some tough stuff to beat, bro, for sure. Right here, you can see I get OG and Anunoby stuck on Giannis. We don't exactly want that, so I'm going to help off the corner with Turner. I just go and click onto him, but as you can see, he just morphs Harden into the contact dunk. So we need a little timeout. We got to get our matchups right. So we're able to just like get the TO, get all that stuff to go. We're going to give Harden some rest again, and Levine's going to carry us off the bench once again. So getting a couple, again, bad dribble styles with Levine. We're just going to get double teamed right here. I try and give the ball to Bam. I low-key get some sauce to go with Bam right here. We get the spin dunk off that kind of weird ball hand manipulation to the other hand, and we get it to go on that. Once again with Bam, I'm going to be trying to go underneath all this action that's just going on where there's just a bunch of crowded space between all that stuff. So we're able to get through that. Obviously, we're just going to take off this baseline away from the ball handler in the corner right there. Cade with the ball again. He's just going to be going a little bit of just like a random space creator shot right there. And those are very makeable, I must say. Like the fact that contesting is harder in this definitely allows you to do stuff like that at a much higher rate. Also, as you can see, Zach LaVine going coast to coast down the sideline, get a dunk meter to pop off. And he has some really troll animations, I will say. But they're still makeable, especially if you're ready for like a lot of just weird animations to pop off with the dunk meter. Right here you can see we get Myles Turner switched on to Cade. We don't exactly want that, but thankfully Poku's able to get a little bit of contest as well, and I'm able to kind of jump out the corner on it as well. So we got Zach with the ball. Once again, just Giannis making it a hard time on the court. As you can see, if Dre's using him, it makes it really, really tough. Right here, I'm not gonna lie, once again, another red layup to go in. This one much lower than 100, I will say that much, but honestly, that's pretty crazy, Zach. We out here making some crazy BS layups in this game. At the end of the day, we're up 20. We probably don't need it that bad, but once again, going with that double bigs pick and roll. We're able to fight through that one with Bam, so we don't really need the switch. I'm just going to be walling off in the paint. As you can see, though, once again, just getting bullied a little bit by Giannis. I mean, he is a problem with this stuff. And as you can see, we get Zach's slash take to go on right there, so that's actually like a huge thing. And as you can see, in this game, takeover is really like current gen style, where you just get every takeover. It's like, it feels like it's easy blow bys, advanced gathers, and finishing moves type stuff like that. So Zach with the bigger dunk meter on that, even though I don't choose his slash take or anything like that. And then Myles Turner rejecting it at the hoop. We got Bam once again on Giannis in the corner. We're gonna be taking away that baseline. I just am showing that middle early. As you can see, a little pick and pop, and then he's able to get once again another yellow to go in. And obviously with Cade's a problem, bro. He actually uses animation switch on Cunningham, and he gave him the mellow ball base. And as we all know, in the jump shot creator, it's a very good jump shot. Right here, though, once again, just a little bit of a spacing issue. Like, Bam's going to cut Myles Turner with the guy already on him. Giannis in transition, and you can see that goes a long way because now that boy got take, and that's going to be tough. That's going to be really, really tough. So you can see we try and like deal with it a little bit because I still wanted Harden to get his rest, but I mean, Giannis with lock take is going to be such a menace. That's this 99 prim D, 99 lateral quickness, all types of stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, hold up. We need another ball handler on the court because obviously he's going to put his lock take on my slash take. So we're just going to be able to have to work with Harden a little bit right here. As you can see, he's like sticking Giannis over there in the corner. He gets an 11% on that, even though it's like no click on, or at least a very late one. And it is what it is. Obviously, you can still hit those like I just said. So once again, double bigs pick and roll. I'm just going to be trying to go under. I try and switch on with Myles Turner right there. We're in really good position, giving up that pick and pop to Towns. But unfortunately, he's able to just get to the hoop, draw a foul, and gets at least one to go. So again, now I'm thinking, okay, well, what if I just put Zach in pick and roll, and maybe like we can just catch him off his spot a little bit. And then I made the mistake of even putting Giannis in pick and roll action at all when I'm literally dealing with him having lock take. I mean, well, that guy's such a menace, bro. I just wish, I just pray that I could ever play a Myleague like this where I have Giannis. But I think what we're going to do for the next Myleague is actually make it so whoever has the best record and stuff like that is going to get the worst picks. Whoever has the worst record is going to get the best picks for the future draft. As you can see, though, Zach LaVine with a nice pick and roll right there. We get it to go, getting it on that alley-oop. Once again, trying to switch on to Myles Turner and just play that switch everything. We're able to get it to go between the whole Towns and Giannis pick and roll. I'm walling off with Bam a good bit right here. He gets a little bit of an up and under opportunity, but thankfully he doesn't go for it. Cade with the hop jumper greens it on the wide open. He's only down by 13 now, so we still got a little ways to go. Aaron Gordon, also a pretty good on-ball defender. As you can see, he's the one guarding me right now. But we're giving him that little machine gun dribble with Harden. But as you can see, Giannis is such a problem. And in this moment, I'm just so mad at Zach LaVine for the random instinctive cut. Because, again, I just did what I tried to have to do to get Giannis out of this play. And I'm like, okay, I made the mistake of going pick and roll the play before that. Let's just keep him away. Just stay away from me, Zach. And as you can see, he was just coming out here cutting and stuff, being a problem. So we're only up by 11 now. This is definitely getting into dangerous territory. You can see we do the escape with Harden, nothing going, so we have to move the ball a little bit, but I get an on-ball lane played by Aaron Gordon, and now Cunningham's pushing it in transition. He gets Caldwell Pope in the corner, bang the three, and now I am only up by 8 points going into this end of the fourth quarter pretty soon here. Now, Giannis is still going to have this takeover for a while, so I needed to just live through Harden a whole lot more than I've been doing. And right here you can see we get a little bit of a quick dunk opportunity right there, a little 2-for-1 potentially. And as you can see, it doesn't end up being a 2-for-1 because we get a little Aaron Gordon rack attack, but it is what it is. We end up being able to hold for the last shot, 26 seconds, and then he's going to miss the last free throw with Aaron Gordon right there. Now, I am a big fan of the whole hold for last shot opportunity idea, but if the opportunity presents itself, I should say, to actually give you the free two early, I say take it. Why not? Because you can't really guarantee that you're going to be able to just chuck a shot at the end of the quarter and just get it, and that's obviously not something you want to rely upon. Right there you can see really good defense from Bam, so we're able to speed him up a little bit. We have another opportunity to maybe make something happen in this quarter right here, and we're going to fade into the corner in the mid-range with Harden. We actually get a 2 for I don't even know. I guess technically it's still 2 for 1, right? I don't even know how to talk about that little process right there, because I guess I don't even hold for last shot, right? But ended up being a 2 for 1 in that moment. So that's just how that all worked out. Right there, we have Poku with another opportunity to maybe go in. That layup is going to miss every time if you've ever seen that animation. It's really unfortunate. So we're back here, up 13 now. That was a big break that we just caught with that little 2 possessions in that late third quarter right there, because obviously we're in some dangerous territory right here. Once again, I get kind of boxed up with Harden. I'm not able to get the shot to go. He runs the break right there, but obviously a garbage pass from whoever threw it, and then we're able to just kind of set up our half-court defense. I'm going to be going with a double team right here from Zach LaVine. We try and force that little 2-on-1, force him to pass to his role players, his corners, stuff like that. As you can see, going with a little bit of a crab dribble move, boom, dunk meter, but he gets ripped out of it by James Harden. I mean, what a tough situation. And then I'm able to step up, get a late contest with Zach. Turner grabs the rebound. We're pushing it again in transition with Harden. Was going to slow it down, but as you can see, he gets a little bit of a reach in right there. So we're trying to just go a little bit random on offense. He's still going to double team us, speed us up. We got Poku in the corner, and I tell you what, that boy is a shooter. He's got a nice jumper. He's got a nice hop jumper. He is just the pure epitome of a stretch big. As you can see, we're fighting over that screen with Harden, making sure he doesn't give the free pick and roll. I do this a lot, I will say. I usually guard ball when it comes to the screens, but I do switch on to the back end when it comes to that action that the CPU will always do off that screen. I want to make sure that no lob opportunity is there, no free roll opportunity is there, anything like that. Now, once again, we got James Harden coming out here, and boom, the devious Euro. I mean, this man can move, bro, with the ball in his hands on the dribbling or the ball in his hands on the finishing. So, once again, just a little bit of an escape to set him up to the middle. We do a long run to the left, and he reacts to it, and as you can see, boom, just like absolutely snap that thing back to the offhand. I mean, Harden and LaVine alone between those 2 layup packages definitely create some good bucket opportunities of just some very consistent thing you can look for if your dunk is taken away really cleanly, and obviously if they react to your ball hand extremely hard. Once again, playing solid defense with Zach LaVine right there, but as you can see, he's able to kind of move into his spot to get to the paint. We get a really nice block from Myles Turner right there. Now you can see I really do want to explain this one to you guys as far as like how to check stuff like this. So you can check your team's takeover meters and stuff like that. This red bar is what takeover means. And as you can see, like for instance, Zach, he's got no takeover. Harden's got a good bit of his, and then Turner has all of his available. So I'm gonna like really like try and get Turner the ball right here. I'm calling him for a pick and roll just to give him like an option to be thrown to, and then I can push in my right stick and activate it myself, and then I'm just going back to the pick and pop with Turner. I just wanted to activate it for the sake of his 3-point rating. As you can see, we come off that screen with Harden. I get a late, but fortunately Zach is there for a really crazy O-board. We get a kick out to Harden, and boom, we are up by 19 points again late in the fourth quarter. It's been a game of runs as far as this stuff goes. I had the early like really lengthy run where it obviously gave me a huge lead, and then Dre came back with his really good run to cut the deficit down to like 8. Now we take that run to get back up by 19, and now here we are, Harden almost on takeover 2. So if I can do a little bit to get Harden take, that'd be huge. We kick it to Turner right there. If he can knock that down, that would have been enough for takeover, but unfortunately, I just missed the mid-range. We're trying to wall up with Poku, but once again, dunk meter prevails. Even the early goes on that, and he cuts the deficit back down to 14 with 3:14 left. So playing slow is probably going to be the move right here, to be honest. So obviously, I don't want to make too many brash decisions like that right there. We obviously do not want to like speed the game up too much with that, but we do still want to get some buckets going. So we call for the pick and pop from Harden right here. Nothing doing with Zach. Turner's boxed. We got Bam getting boxed too, so I try and mash it out with Bam. We end up really like the opportunity of a foul, but Bam grabs his own offensive rebound. We kick back out to Harden. I'm setting up this pick and pop to the corner, but Bam's kind of in the way, so I just go away from it. As you can see, a little bit of a double team action. Kind of could have had Bam in the paint right there, but we hit the contested shot with Turner on the kind of triangle prediction that didn't even end up as a triangle, but either way, it's enough for an assist, and that's going to be almost enough for takeover, and I think that's going to be our perfect closeout to the game if we can get take. Right here, I'm kind of pinching off the wing because these boys do not know what's going on as far as the matchups go. That's one thing you have to deal with CPUs. They really just do be on some like crazy random stuff. As you can see, he tried to lob it over me to Harden right there, but we're able to just get the steal. Now, once again, I'm setting up the Zach pick and roll, so we're going to go off that long, and as you can see, if a guard is ever, like I'm talking the 2 guards ever switch this thing, and Zach gets this angle right here where he can get that dunk, that's a contact dunk every single time waiting to happen. You have to put a big body on Zach. Like, he is not going for any of that stuff, bro, when the small guards end up on him, and that's why I want to use him as the pick and roller pretty consistently, and just live with Turner and Poku being more pick and pop opportunities that just kind of catch big bodies in their slowness. essentially. Whereas with Harden and LaVine, it's more about getting Zach his opportunities at the dunks and stuff like that, or maybe even just the double team that he might catch or Harden might catch, whichever is going to be more open off it. As you see, to close out the game, we got Harden with the take a little bit. We're going to be fading to the wing right here, and I get it to go. We get Harden 41-7 right now with a minute 40 left in the quarter, and honestly, it's not even worth like recapping too much of this stuff, but I'll let you guys see the end of the game as well. So Bam, once again, we're going under all that stuff. I get caught with a little bit of a run, but as you can see, Turner with a good sag off of Towns. Towns is a pretty slow jump shot too, so we're able to kind of live with that. But as you can see, Giannis morphing LaVine into the contact dunk meter. He doesn't get it to go though. We're once again going to try this Poku hop jumper to the corner, and as you can see, we end up missing that one, unfortunately. But anyway, skipping to the end of the game, -1 Harden fade that I just care to show because I guess I'm just a pain who likes to run up the score, I guess. I shouldn't be doing stuff like this, to be honest. But anyway, end of the game, 81-60. Once again, Dre played a lot better of a game than the scoreboard shows as far as me beating him by 21. But the game was close in a lot of opportunities and just a lot of areas of the game. But anyway, into the final box score, as you can see, Giannis gets held to 16 points. Once again, he only had 2 points into like the first, I would say, like 6 minutes of the game, stuff like that. Or actually, no, for that matter, the quarter length is 6. I'm tripping. It's more like the first 10 minutes of the game. And we were able to box him up pretty good. And I honestly think in the 18 minutes for him to only have 16 points is definitely doing our thing on defense. Cade ended up with 14 as well as his third option. Towns kind of got phased out of the offense by Miles Turner as well. And then not a whole lot doing as far as the bench goes. So very good defense from our team right there. And Bam absolutely put in the work. This is way more minutes than I've ever played Bam. Bam is not a reliable enough shooter for me to like justify him always being on the court, because if I just put him in my regular flow of offense, if there's not a matchup for him to be put on, it's kind of wasting him putting on the court. I'd rather just be having Tari Eason and like Miles Turner and Poku be getting more minutes. I would say expect the minutes on Bam and Tari to be not exactly flipped, but more even between the two of them, because they're kind of like my two 6-man options that I kind of play between the 3 and the 4 and the 5 like rotation kind of weird thing I do. So think of Bam, if you guys are familiar with the Lakers, as my Jared Vanderbilt pretty much, where if he doesn't really have a great matchup for me to put on him, like for instance with Vanderbilt against the Grizzlies, we put him on like Ja almost the whole series, and he was boxing that stuff up really good because he's just a big body that's still agile enough to deal with those slashers that are still quick. And that's exactly what I'm looking for out of Bam, is to be that guy, essentially. But other than that, Miles Turner is my starting center for sure. Poku is going to be the main guy playing those power forward minutes. We got Zach and Harden playing the duo like of the PG and shooting guard. Early subs to one of them probably puts Tari in and leaves OG in, and then somewhere in there when one of them come back in, we sub OG out to get Tari at the lock position for a temporary amount of time. And it's just pretty much a simple like 7 or 8 man rotation. And I don't see very many people in the league do this. If I see anything, it's either they play their starters the whole game like AK does, or they just play like a starting unit and a bench unit. It's 10 people, they play 5 starters, 5 bench, and they just go 5 in, 5 out, essentially, if you get what I'm saying. Like they go with a full line rotation. Whereas me, I sub people kind of one at a time, and I like to split people's minutes pretty good. So again, Harden with 44-7 on 17 for 25, 8 for 11 from 3. I mean, some crazy work. Or actually, I think it might be 8 for 13 technically. But anyway, either way, LaVine ends the game with no 3-point attempts or anything like that. Either we don't really need it. I ended the game 10 for 16 from 3, and as you're going to see, that puts our record to a pretty solid 4-2, and that's going to get us a pretty good way as far as the standings go in the West. I will update you guys with the standings in our next video, and I'll let you guys see that. But as you can see, get the win against Dre right there. My 2 losses, like I just said, are against Tonic and Dope. I'll catch you guys up to speed on those real quick at the end of this video. Alright, so against Tonic, I lose 67-63, technically 69-63, because I'm not the only piece of garbage that runs the score up at the end of the game or anything like that. I'm just joking when I say that too. But anyway, as far as our box score on this one, Ja, as you can see, no 3-point attempts. I mean, Tonic took he made like 2 3-pointers in this whole game, 2 for 7. And I just had no rim protection at all between like Poku playing the 5 and, you know, playing OG at the 4. It was just unacceptable. I can't do that. So we had to make some sort of trade. And Thibault, this was the like breaking point for Thibault. I just wanted nothing to do with him anymore because he just wasn't a big enough body to deal with people like Ja. He wasn't fast enough to full court press people either. So I don't know. Thibault was more of like a defend the other team's shooting guard and still have a primary defender that's still good, and let him just be a fluke pluck kind of guy. But as you can see, Tonic beats me 69 to 63 with only 6 3-point attempts. And that's just the life that you live with Rudy Gobert at the freaking 5 and Ja at the 1. But moving on to the Dope game right here, as you can see, Dope also beats me in a pretty manageable fashion. It was, again, one of these like kind of just like all-out scoring fests between Luka having 31 and 9 and then Sabonis with really good mash as well. And this, once again, was me just getting mashed, like an unbelievable amount. So we had to make some sort of move right here. Poku doesn't belong in the 5. He's not big enough to do that stuff. We had Tari Eason playing a lot of minutes in this game too. Thibault, he got phased out of the game, 11 minutes, and I just thought, like, man, I'm just trying to get him out of there. And Anthony Simons, I didn't play him much either. So we made a lot of moves, like I just showed. We got Simons out of there, Thibault out of there, and like traded John Collins and stuff too. So we got a very well-rounded team now, and I'm pretty happy with how we pulled off those trades. But it definitely lets me know like how to attack the draft in our next one. Do not get these small body locks. They just can't do anything. And definitely don't get anybody that's like gonna come out here and be a small guard that doesn't justify being on the court. So 3-and-D wings and just big body wings that can still kind of move and still shoot good are really like the name of the game. And definitely like bigs, like pretty much Miles Turner and stuff like that. But yeah, that's our look at the squad. So here's where we're at now as far as our team goes. We have the Miles Turner, Bam, Zach, Harden, OG. I traded Jakob and John Collins, but we'll update you guys on what the rest of the team looks like in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching these, and if you made it to the end of the video, put Laker in the comments, search purchase my way through, or put my NBA in the comments. But again, I appreciate you guys watching this. The last video got pretty good support, and I'm pretty excited to see how these gameplays will go as far as just like the views and stuff. But I know this thumbnail was a little bit like odd, intricate, kind of weird, but we'll see how it performs. But anyway, that's all for video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Done that. Take it easy, man. Peace.